I think everyone knows this now. They never really utilized my talents in the ring, so I was just afraid of them ruining our history. So that never happened, thank God.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment down below and I just might end up responding. For years and years, the saying went that nobody who leaves WWE ever stays out of the company. Whether you were Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, it did not matter. If you were ever gone, eventually you'd find your way back home. People thought CM Punk was finally going to break that mold, and while he hasn't actually fully attempted to return to WWE itself, I'd say just about the closest thing to his return's reality has already happened with WWE backstage, yet in this modern era it seems less and less likely that the following are going to make a comeback. I'm D Wicked from Watch WWE, and here's 10 wrestlers who are probably banned from the company. Number 10, Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio has had one of the strangest departures from WWE in recent memory. After a bizarre return year that saw him end John Cena's US Open Challenge with Mexican victory, feud with Kalisto for 14 years over the US belt, and then join League of Nations in thunderous applause, Del Rio was handed a 30-day suspension and found his way out of the company less than 2 weeks during it. Complications arose a month later when Del Rio announced his engagement to then still active WWE roster member Paige, and despite their solid position in the company, was constantly calling it out for its supposed BS via social media and interviews, and my God, just go find the interviews. He lets this company have it. It is truly incredible to see WWE, with so much investment in Paige, stick to her side through all of the insanity in her short career, but Del Rio, he's probably never going to meet Vince McMahon again.
Oh my God, it's Alberto Del Rio, he's back! Mexico's greatest export!
Number 9, Ryback. And speaking of wrestlers who fizzled out of their once main event status, sliding down into a career of mid-card whateverness, hello there, Ryback. Admittedly, seeing Alberto elsewhere as El Patron makes it pretty clear that it was WWE who dropped the ball when it came to Del Rio's career. Ryback, on the other hand, well, he drew Goldberg comparisons for a reason, and just like the original, didn't always seem to be the best inside of that ring. But his mediocrity and general not safeness inside the ring did not stop him from calling the company out multiple times over the years, being something of an ex-WWE David Starr, vouching that wrestlers deserve larger cuts from WWE's big coin, they deserve health benefits, security, etc., etc. And you know what? While I do agree, a certain Kennedy McMahon doesn't, and probably will not be bringing in the outspoken Ryback anytime soon.
And again, this beast Ryback. Manhandling the champion.
Number 8, Jon Moxley. This is going to be an interesting one moving forward because as far as I can tell, Jon Moxley is actually totally cool with WWE still. He was obviously a little bit peeved with his placement on the card and how he was not only being just wasted but completely thrown into nonsense constantly, but he mostly attributes that to just Vince having to have his way and being Vince McMahon, and that regardless of creative differences, he holds no grudges and actually had a great relationship with the man. WWE, however, is a little bit known for their grudges, and considering this guy posted a video of him busting out of a prison the midnight that he got released before showing up at their new main competitor's door and taking their top title, I don't know. I think it's going to take at least till Vince being dead before Mr. Mox makes his Hall of Fame induction. Number 7, Big Cass. Reasons Big Cass was hired: tall. Reasons Big Cass was fired: drunk. I'm very happy for the man for cleaning up and jacking himself the out, but the unfortunate truth for Big Cass is that he probably isn't even banned from WWE. It would just be a ridiculous idea to try bringing him back solo, because bringing in Big Cass without a certain someone just isn't going to be the same, and that certain someone, well, number 6, Enzo Amore. Troubled waters indeed. The problem for Big Cass ever returning is that it would have to be paired alongside his far more popular tag team partner, Enzo Amore, and unfortunately Big Cass is sort of permanently screwed in that department, because as far as I can tell, Enzo is about as permanently stuck outside of WWE's walls as one can be. He might have once been the hottest man behind a microphone with considerable momentum behind his tag team, but bad booking can kill even the best of wrestlers dead in the water, and once Enzo's hype fizzled out, his issues became a lot easier for backstage to pick apart. For example, Enzo was a notably poor worker with a Simon Gotch botch where he baseball slid himself right the to the bottom ropes, standing out amongst many a smaller screw-up. His backstage antics weren't exactly few and far between either, with Enzo sneaking people backstage that weren't supposed to be there and getting thrown off tour buses by Roman Reigns. Since his departure, Enzo has even boosted his relevance by appearing at WWE shows and causing scenes front row, and yeah, that's not gonna get you rehired. Number 5, hashtag FTR. Alright, in all honesty, there is zero chance that FTR are banned by any means. There are not really that many people who are banned from WWE, in all honesty. I mean, I could talk about Nails assaulting Vince McMahon, but I don't want Nails to find and then assault me, so instead let's shine a light on these guys for showing exactly how to leave a company without burning a single bridge. Despite being possibly the best tag team going for a few years now, WWE's utilization of FTR has been utterly terrible. Besides their debut, can you name one good main roster thing about FTR that didn't end in KO? Besides the clear frustration, the dudes have put over every single person within the big dub for help that they received and the friends they made, opportunities granted, and time they felt was still well spent. That is how you keep the bridge intact to one day possibly return. And the best part, I don't even think they will. FTR will never be used to their full potential in this company, and I think they know that. It's pretty funny because barring NXT potentially one day forming its own Hall of Fame, I think the one entry that left the door wide enough open to return is also the one that wouldn't accept the offer if it was on the table.
Just utter disrespect.
Number 4, AJ Lee. Death via association already killed Big Cass off this list, so who am I not to mention the original patron saint of not returning to WWE because I'm paired with this guy, AJ Lee. Unlike Big Cass, AJ's return all by herself would be met to huge response, as she was arguably one of the very few great women's wrestlers in the pre-women's wrestling era of WWE. She missed out by just a year on some mouth-watering matches, but thanks to the dubious circumstances of her husband's massively burned bridges with WWE and now working a spot that allows him to profit off of on the company, I really doubt she's gonna come back to WWE.
Not so fast, Paige. AJ, roll up, shoulders down. AJ did it! AJ's the champion!
Number 3, the Kanellises. Mike and Maria Kanellis were brought into WWE, and almost immediately afterwards, Maria informed them that she wouldn't be able to work because she was pregnant, and Mike quickly found himself in rehab. Within their tenure, Maria would pull that exact same stunt again upon re-signing their contracts, and yeah, after all that, understandably, WWE's not really keen on using Mike or Maria based on the short history filled with many massive road bumps, causing the two to do a lot of complaining about being mishandled while still inside the company. In fact, Mike Kanellis whined on Twitter about wanting to leave the company about 1 month after re-signing his contract for 5 years. Then, during the pandemic cuts, Mike and Maria were both let go, and despite complaining about their treatment in the company at the time and wanting out, they then reversed it to complaining about, oh, how could WWE fire a postpartum mother? But you wanted it! It's been months, and she's literally still tweeting about it as of this week. So basically, they're never coming back, and also shut the up. Number 2, Gail Kim. AJ Lee missed the women's revolution by just close enough a margin that you wish she could have gotten one more year just to see a few of those potential matchups. Gail Kim missed the WWE's women wrestling era by so much, it's just honestly upsetting and kind of makes me wish she was born like a decade later. Kim had excellent potential that would be realized over an Impact, but her time spent inside WWE was lackluster to say the absolute best. Kim's thrown her fair share of shots toward the big dub and its terrible handling of female talent during the era she wrestled over the years. It's a perfect pairing though, as Vince isn't hiring her back anytime soon anyways. Never forget, Jim Ross once had to explain to Vince McMahon that yes, there is plenty of men out there attracted to Asian women.
I think everyone knows this now. They never really utilized my talents in the ring, so I was just afraid of them ruining our history. So that never happened, thank God.
And number 1, Scott Steiner. Oh, the genetic freak. I mean, just go and watch Scott Steiner say anything about WWE after this video. It's genuinely a great way to waste some time. And while it might be entertaining, the stuff he has said about Vince McMahon, Triple H, and oh Jesus, numerous times indeed, especially Stephanie McMahon, like the worst person you could take shots at if you want to have a career in wrestling again, at least in WWE. Scott Steiner, you are not welcome in this company anymore. Sorry, Big Papa Pump. It's your time to make your way out the door forever. Goodbye.
All the boys are getting screwed, you know. Independent contractor, that's a bullshit. I mean, nobody's an independent contractor.
And those are 10 banned WWE wrestlers. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. To like the video, subscribe to the channel, and notifications, ring that bell.